One of the Christian words that we hear a lot about lately is discipleship and one person discipling another. And so what I'd like to explore a little bit here today is, are we discipling children or are we just teaching children? Come, explore that here with me today on Kid Story Quick Tips. So what is the difference between teaching and discipling? I would say that teaching simply is imparting information. You've learned some information, and now you're going to teach it. You're going to make it so that the children are learning that information. Teaching, learning, they're actually the same word. When we go back into, especially the Old Testament, there are places where both words are used, and they actually mean the same thing. You're not teaching something unless they are actually learning it. But when we use the word discipleship, that is so different than just teaching. Teaching is predominantly just for the head. Do they know the information? And as you've been part of Kid Story, you recognize that, that is part of what we're doing. We do want the kids to know the story. We do want the kids to know Jesus better. We do want them to know what it means to be a follower of Jesus. Yeah, knowledge. It's important. But what does it mean to disciple? I love the verse that says, "Come, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men." To me, that's what discipleship is about. Come. It's an invitation to join you. Come, follow me. Paul said that many times. Follow me as I follow Christ. Jesus said, "Come, follow me, and I'll make you disciples and fishers of men." And so discipleship is that whole aspect of doing life together. It's not just imparting information, and that is part of it. But part of discipleship is cheering people on, encouragement, admonishing, all the one another's, the love one another, pray for one another, spur each other on. That's all part of discipling somebody. It's sharing your life with them and them feeling comfortable and safe, that you've created that kind of environment where they can share their lives with you. And you get to see what Jesus is doing in their lives. That to me is discipleship. Can you see the difference between discipleship and teaching? You can be a great teacher and you can impart a lot of really good information, and that's great. I'm not diminishing or discounting any of that, but when do we get to that place where, we're discipling them? We're engaged in their lives. We're discovering what their likes are, what their dislikes are. We're engaged with them to understand, what are they fearful of? What are they excited about? What are they concerned about? What are they looking forward to? All these different aspects of discipleship. And how does Jesus now fit into all of that? And how does their story become part of God's story? And God's story is part of their story. That to me is discipleship. So let's now take our teaching, which we can be really good at teaching. We want to be good teachers. I'm not discounting that at all. We want to be a good teacher, to share his word, to share the good news, for kids to grow in their understanding, to grow in their knowledge. But then how do we transition that into discipleship, where we really care about the children and we're embracing them? We're sharing our lives with them. They're sharing their lives with us, helping them to see Jesus in the middle of their story and to walk and to follow him and to be more and more in love with Jesus. So try one thing this week to discover more about your children, to discover where they at in their relationship with Jesus, and how can we spur them on? How can we encourage them? How can we be their cheerleader? How can we listen better to them and disciple them in being followers of Christ? What's one thing this week you can do? Thanks for joining us here on this week's Kid Story Quick Tips.